Some Americans are arguing that perhaps we shouldn't be surprised that all the talks with the Taliban would fall apart, given the track record of violence and a political stalemate for more than a decade. I want to bring in Kurt Volker. He's the executive director of the McCain Institute for International Leadership, and he is also a former U.S. ambassador to NATO. Kurt, first things first, U.S. military commanders have said that the only way to win this war is through negotiation. So why should there be any reason to trust the Taliban? I mean, can they be trusted at this point?
No, well, trusted in a sense that we know what they want and we know what they're going to do to try to get that. That is, they want to retake power in Afghanistan. They want to establish an Islamic caliphate or emirate in Afghanistan. So we can trust them in terms of we know what their objectives are. The fatal flaw in this whole arrangement is belief that negotiations are going to produce some kind of reconciliation or peace agreement. The Taliban know that they're winning because what they want is for the international community to leave, to discredit the Karzai government, and to try to reassert power themselves. They see us leaving. They see the Karzai government weakening. There'll be an election in 2014 with a new leader there. And they see this as an opportunity.
Well, I want to ask you about your thoughts. We're coming up close on 2014. We're 6 months away. And post-transition, will it revert back to the Taliban? I mean, the Taliban is still very popular there. Will the past decade and all the money that has been spent in Afghanistan be for nothing?
Well, it's not just all the money, it's all the progress that has been made. And if you think about it, I mean, Afghanistan lost a generation to education, 20 years, no education. They lost women's rights and children's rights and things that they had before that. They lost an economy. Those things have gradually been coming back over the last decade, and we've seen tremendous progress. Healthcare, education, economy, infrastructure, women's rights, children's ability to thrive in a country. That is now at risk, and that really is very dangerous. Now, what would the Taliban do? First, they want to control the country, and they want to reimpose an Islamist rule on the entire country. That's their goal. They made no bones about it. Clearly, at the same time, Afghanistan today is not the same Afghanistan that it was in 2001 before the U.S.-led invasion. So there have been changes. There's going to be some sustainability to change, but it would be under a very, very different framework.
Let's take a look. We have about a minute and a half left. I want to get your thoughts on the timing of Karzai's decision to suspend talks. I mean, there's been much reported about his personality. Is this an overreaction on his part?
Well, no. I think he has some very real and conflicting interests. He wants the government of Afghanistan to be in charge, and that can't be seen to be the case if the Taliban negotiates directly with the U.S. He wants the Taliban to reconcile into Afghanistan the way it is. The Taliban, on the other hand, are insisting that it's Karzai who's not legitimate, so they're refusing to even meet with him. I think Karzai has some legitimate concerns here.
So what happens now? What should happen?
What should happen, is we should get rid of the deadline and focus on goals. We need to see a stable Afghanistan that succeeds over the long term. That's going to take more time.
All right. Kurt Volker, we appreciate your time and your perspective. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Thank you.